fish on the table would just be delightful. That's fine. Okay, thank you.
Hello everyone, welcome to Eat the Magic. We are at the Rose and Crown Pub for the tea service. I've been looking forward to this one. I've heard really good things, and I'm very excited to try different types of tea, different types of cakes, different types of bread, sandwiches, whatever they have to offer. Coming in kind of knowing very little about the full service is, but I'm very excited to try it because I've done this before, and I'd like to see the Epcot take on the tea service. I'm being a bit more quiet here just because it seems like the polite thing to do. It is a very nice and well-kept place, and I don't want to be Mr. Rowdy Man. So I'm looking forward to my food, and I will talk about it more probably outside the facility.
So good morning and welcome to the tea experience here at the Rose and Crown in the UK Pavilion here in Epcot. How is everybody doing today?
Pretty good.
Good. Have we had our cup of tea this morning?
No.
Has anybody had a cup of coffee this morning?
No.
So the exit is just that way for those who have? I'm just kidding. So I assume we all know what we're here for today, right?
Yeah.
Has anybody just been dragged by a friend or family and has no idea what's about to happen? Don't you worry, we'll take good care of you, alright? No problem. Which contains the most caffeine are the leaves that have been oxidized the longest. So for that reason, they can be brewed for about 5 to 6 minutes without them being tarnished in any way.
That's on rye bread. It's got some Boursin cheese on it. We take some Boursin cheese, we add a little bit of arugula in it, top it with a cucumber salad and a little raspberry on top, okay? So some background on Boursin. Boursin cheese is the company started in 1957 in France by a guy named Francois Boursin. So for 62 years now, they've been the leading producer of soft cheeses in the world. So it's a pretty cool to have that. So celery sprouts. So when you plant your celery, before it starts blooming into your stalks, those are going to be your sprouts. So it's a nice little accompaniment for the top of your egg salad sandwich. Moving to your next sandwich, that's on multi-rye. That is the chicken salad. It's the coronation chicken salad, I'm sorry. 1953, prior to the Queen's coronation, she wanted her kingdom to come up with some sort of a salad for her coronation. This is what you have. So it's got some chicken in it, a little bit of mango chutney, some curry, a little bit of mayonnaise, and some golden raisin. It's quite delicious. Last but not least, that is a Branston pickle on white bread. So the Branston pickle is imported from England. We can also get it locally at Publix if you would like to pick some up. In that specific Branston pickle, you have carrots, cauliflower, rutabaga, and onions. We take that, we put it in a food processor, we blend it down, and we add a little bit of white, sharp Irish cheddar cheese to it. So the best way I can describe sharp cheddar, or Irish cheddar, is if you take a sharp yellow cheddar and some Parmesan cheese. If they were to marry, it'll be about the flavor profile you're going to have, all right? Just nice thing.
The fourth one we're going to try is going to be a herbal tea. So, fun fact about herbal teas, they do not contain any Camellia sinensis at all, which makes them caffeine free, which kind of makes them not a tea at all. We should really refer to it as a herbal infusion, and Twinings did that for a period of time. They changed
the flour mix, and then when you would add the eggs, the baking powder, baking soda, it helps it rise. Okay, makes sense? All right. So like I said, you have your clotted cream and you have your jam. And in the center of your plate as well, you have an orchid, and that orchid is from the Hawaiian Islands. All right, and that orchid is edible. So again, I would suggest that you try the flour. It is a little bit different than other biscuits. All right. Anybody have any questions for me? No.
Welcome to you all, and hopefully teach you a few things about tea. So has everybody enjoyed themselves?
Yes.
That makes me very happy. So on behalf of Nico and I, have an amazing time at Epcot. Don't forget there are no calories in Disney, so eat and drink until your heart is content. If you're a little bit health conscious, do a few laps of the World Showcase, you'll be absolutely fine. And if you need any help further, come and see us across the street in merchandise. We'd be more than happy to help, alright? Thank you to the chefs and the service team as well. Thank you. Have a great day.
Okay, so let's talk about the tea service, shall we? It's set up in a way where everyone is in there. It's not just you and your party, it is everyone's party gets to be in the room. They have a host comes up and introduces himself or herself, and we had a male host and a couple other assistants. And they start talking to you about the history of tea, kind of where it came from, how it got popularized, and help you start up your own tea thing. You get 4 little glasses, each with their own tea bag. And you kind of set up your first 2, you pour in the water, you have someone do the timing, and they've even have a little tea timer. And they give you a little more history, talking about, in this case, the importance of English breakfast and how it was part of their lives, because they were actually people from the UK. And then talking about chai and its origins, and the silliness of the fact that chai means tea. So when you say chai tea, you're just basically saying tea tea. And after the first kind of phase, we got our sandwiches. And one of the cooks came out to explain the different types of sandwiches that were made. And the sandwiches are delicious, by the way. I'll get to the food and the flavors, everything in a minute. I just want to explain the whole setup. But spoilers, the sandwiches were good. After that, we get our second batch of teas. This time around, it was a green tea that was like fruit mixed, and a hibiscus herbal tea. And a little more history about that, and about how hibiscus tea doesn't use traditional tea leaves, and therefore it's not actually a tea, but they call it that to prevent confusion from people who are like, no, I want to like put that flavor in my cup. How do I do that? So just call it tea anyways. And things were concluded, of course, with scones with strawberry jam and heavy cream. Cream so thick it was almost like butter, like that type of thick cream. Oh, so good. And they explained kind of about, you know, how people prepare theirs, and the different hosts prepared their scones in different ways. And there was between a scone and a biscuit, which is eggs. So I really liked the whole show for that. It was really great, and for the price, and you get an educational aspect and a meal, that's a great deal. But let's break it down. First off, let's talk about the 4 teas. The English breakfast was very good. I mean, all these teas were great. They were, of course, going to show off some of their better quality teas. But the standout was the one tea I didn't mention in the tea service, which is the iced tea they provided for our sandwiches, which is based off of Lady Grey tea, which is a unique tea to the Twining brand that sponsors the whole thing. And it was so good. Oh my god. It is one of their proprietary teas, and it is amazing. If you have the chance to go to a store that sells Twining stuff, try to find Lady Grey. It is awesome. It makes a great iced tea. Probably would make a really relaxing hot tea. And that was the standout one. However, I really like the hibiscus tea because I am a fan of hibiscus teas. And their chai was pretty good too. They provide you with the sugar and milk in order to eat it more English style, and encourage you to try it different combinations. I found that actually my preference is 1 or 2 sugar cubes and no milk, because I think the milk overtakes the flavor of the tea. Your mileage may vary, also depending on how much you like the flavor of milk. But a little bit of sugar, I usually don't do that because I like my tea being a bit stronger, but adding a little bit of sugar actually brings out some of the tea flavor and makes it actually taste stronger than it actually, would normally. And therefore, yeah, I learned something. I learned I like sugar cubes in my tea. As for sandwiches, they had, I think, 3 different types, and they were all delicious, including like a cucumber one, an egg salad one, and royal style sandwich. I don't remember the actual names. They were all really good, and it's 3 smaller sandwiches, which is more. It's already raining. It's raining again. 3 smaller sandwiches, but trust me, that's gonna be a really good meal. It functions well as a good brunch. Or early lunch. I do recommend the sandwiches a lot. And the sandwiches are so popular, they gave away the recipe for the sandwiches afterwards. So we do have the recipe for that. I can make the sandwiches. I'll probably do future videos about that. I'm sorry I'm not holding up the recipe card, but it's starting to rain and I don't want it to get ruined. The scone and biscuit were great. They were kind of what you would expect, but had a nice good flavor to them. Adding the jam and the heavy cream is so good, and it just makes it so delicious. I kind of wish I had that kind of heavy cream at all times for like anything I want to put any topping onto, because I love heavy cream. If you've seen in my videos, you know I've talked about heavy whipping cream and loving that, and then heavy cream for this kind of stuff is also delicious, and I definitely rank it above butter. And arguably it is healthier than butter, but we're not going to get into a whole health food thing here. You don't put jam on your food if you're looking for healthy foods, and you don't eat scones if you're looking for healthy foods. Overall, the food is great. Plenty of food to keep you going. In fact, it was a brunch that'll keep me going until dinner, and that's great. There's plenty of tea. They'll refill your hot water as you go, and you get the iced tea, so you're gonna drink your fill. So if you're feeling dehydrated, it will refill you. Now it's raining, so I think that's my cue to wrap up. I really recommend this. For the price, you get education, you get food, you get delicious teas, and it'll hopefully introduce you to some new flavors of tea that you can then pick up and have year round. So overall, I really highly recommend this. It's also cheaper than most of these kind of tea services, and the educational aspects just makes you appreciate what you're eating and drinking that much more. All right, one other thing I'd like to mention is they actually do give you little tea samplers here. They come with about 4 packets in each one. We got a couple of these. And always a nice thing to bring back to the hotel room. Some of the hotel rooms will have the ability to heat up your water, and you can make a quick glass of tea for yourself or for others. However, if you have some of the herbal teas or anything like that, you can actually dump them into something like this, throw some cold water in it, keep it overnight, and you have delicious iced tea for the whole next day, or until you finish it. A lot of standard teas will end up getting sour if you keep them in for that long, but any of the herbal teas that don't use the natural tea leaves, like the hibiscus that I mentioned in our review, will never go bad if they stay in there. It's just going to keep the flavor going and going and going. So that's the other added bonus. You can give yourself some iced tea or hot tea to help you on your Disney journey, because when you get back to the hotel, sometimes you just want a refreshing iced tea or hot tea. These flavors are a mix of stuff. I'm not really going to go through all of them. There's not really a point to that, I don't think, but I'll open up this little set here with some English breakfast, which is what we did have at the thing. Oh, that might be a different flavor of English breakfast. Here is a chamomile, or chamomile, as they pronounced it. We got a green tea. I feel like I'm opening up like a pack of cards. And we got some, I can't quite tell what this one is. Got a little herbal tea here too. So it's a nice little pack of random stuff. And like I said, the English breakfast, I'm not even sure if this is the same English breakfast we had. Because I think we may have had a vanilla or English breakfast. So it's a nice little extra bonus for going as well. And it'll keep you going. If you're a person like me who loves their tea, then you'll be doing fine. I really do recommend it. It's not that expensive. They cater to families, so you don't have to worry if you have kids or anything like that. Just come on, enjoy some tea, enjoy some food, have a good time, and it really does add to the experience that you get to take some tea home. And of course, there is the Twinings shop in the Epcot area as well, so if you find a tea flavor either at the tea tasting or in these little packets that you really like, you can always, of course, run back to the store before you leave and bring yourself home a pack if there's not a Twinings store near you. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. That's how we know people are enjoying the videos. Leave a comment and hit the bell for notifications if you'd like to as well. In addition to that, we do have a Ko-fi. Check out the description if you want to just help us out to cover parking and snacks, because every ounce counts. Until next time, remember a few things. 1, calories do not exist at Disneyland or Disney World or any Disney park. And 2, have a happy Fox wedding, because it's raining while the sun's out. And 3, and most importantly, never forget to eat the magic.